So I just wanted to do a quick update on the bed leveling video that I created recently. So I feel like I left out a few details that were important to share with you so that you can understand what I did and why I did it. So I was resisting all the way along to make any modifications to this printer in order to be able to check to see that it could print well. And it's always printed these owls really well, no issues, but it always prints those owls in the very center of the bed. It doesn't extend out past into the other bed leveling zones. That's what I found, at least anyway. So, I mean, you get your Z offset done right, and you're going to be able to print one of these owls pretty easily. I mean, it's crazy how smooth this thing is. I mean, it's fantastic. So I've gotten mine dialed in to the point where, I could print a cube and it can look good, and I can inspect the walls, and you can see I've printed a few with various tests, etc. I think it's a great item to use to test the abilities of the machine. But one thing that always bothered me is the fact that even with the bed leveling on, and you can see how thin this is, that when you peel it up, well, one part would stick because it's thinner than on one side than it is on the other. And that bothered me. It's something that just ate at me for a while. But anyways, once I got to the point where I could print cubes, the walls are smooth, I could get a decent top layer, I could print all kinds of other things like the hands and the alien, etc. Once I got there, I was there, okay, this is really good. But the cube that I showed the other day in my video, I looked at it and I realized, it's really dynamite, and the dimensions came out really well. But I noticed that, hey, it seems to be about the same thickness, more or less, all the way around now that I've modified it to use the springs. The springs, I realized I'm using them as a way to be able to, they're basically adjustable shims. So I was able to shim the bed and use Pronter Phase to take measurements to the bed and then adjust the four corners by screwing in threads to compress the bed down or releasing up on one side. But I did go around and compress down on all four sides. So afterwards, when I was looking at this, I was there, hey, it's a little bit thin. I can see through it in areas. And that's what that means, is that my Z offset was just a little bit too high. So as good as this cube is, and as good as the measurements were, I actually dialed in the Z offset just a little bit more to actually print this cube. And it is super smooth, the top of the brim around this cube. It's absolutely fantastic. And the dimensions, I mean, if I measure the brim all the way around, you can see that's 0.27, that's 0.24, that's 0.21, that's 0.24, and I'm all the way back around again, so 0.29. I mean, we're talking about a discrepancy of 0.08 of a millimeter, so I don't know what more I could possibly want. But there's the dimensions of this small cube from top to bottom, so 20.01, and here's the width, so we're looking at 20.07, 20.05. I mean, this cube is just absolute dynamite. So of course, I've been doing a lot, working on these videos a lot, trying to help the community and that. And I was there, man, you know what? I got to have a little bit of fun. So just for the fun of it, I decided I was going to print a really big cube just for, I would try not to swear, just for fun. Okay. So anyways, I didn't want to waste filament. I didn't want to waste time. So this is a 100 mm cube. It is hollow other than 10% lightning infill. So the lightning infill came up to support the lower side of the X here, the bottoms, same thing on the Y, and then of course on the Z as well. But as I was printing it, I thought, oh man, I only put a double wall thickness, and other times when I've done a really thin wall, the walls have distorted and then the print fails. So I thought, it'll probably fail there. It did not. It just ran that wall up nice and straight. I mean, I don't know how straight it is really, but the thing is that there's no visible curves of that wall inwards. As it's building it up, I thought, oh, all right. But I overlooked before I started. I didn't think about the point of the X here, and I thought, oh, it may fail there, So I was on pins and needles a little bit a few times there, but it ended up doing a great job. I mean, if I went and stuck it under the microscope, it wouldn't stand up to it. But the same thing with the underside of the Y. And honestly, at a distance, I think it looks fantastic. Same thing with the top. And I applied a trick that I'd learned on another YouTube video, and that is that the individual was doing 30% overlap on the top layer. And I mean, it came out really, really well. And honestly, if I'd done a complete infill, I would imagine that it would be even better than what I've got right here, even though I think this is dynamite. So, but the proof's in the pudding, So this is a 100 millimeter cube, and I've got 99.76 in this direction. I've got 99.7879 in that direction, and then in the Z direction we've got 99.51. So all in all, I think that's pretty fantastic results for that cube. And again, so I really love doing tests with cubes. So over here I have from my other printer, which is of course a different style, I printed a cube using carbon fiber lace material. So coming up soon, I'm going to be doing this on the Kobra Go, just to see what the results are. I bought an all steel nozzle to test out, so you're going to get to see that soon because I'll be making a video of that. And then I also have another video that I'm really excited about coming up soon. I'm not going to tell you what that is, but I'm hoping to have it done by Saturday and posted to share with you people. Anyways, thanks for all the nice comments and the requests that have been made. I'm really enjoying the community, especially the group on Facebook. Great bunch of people. And, thanks again, and happy printing. I'll see you soon.